Okay, welcome to session 4, flight tech coaching. We, as per usual, we have our Meyer board. Welcome everyone, say hello. And we have this goal from last time. We are continuing on the adding tests and coverage, cleaning up stuff. So last time we did the grid. It was called My Bounded Grid in the start of the session, then we decided to rename it. And now we're continuing with the Tetrad, which is this piece of code. Let's see. Here. So it's kind of at the heart of this Tetris software, because it got these translate and rotate methods, which does what it says in the actual grid. So I think this, we see a lot of duplication and stuff to clean up in this one. So that's where we're at. And last time we tried this pattern of ensembling where we had a couple of navigators and 3 typists. So do we want to try this again, or how do you want to do it? In either case, please put down your name on a note, post it so we can set up an ensemble. Cool, we got a couple of typists already. Johannes is joining me in thank you, Thomas, too. Eric, you want to be, I mean, I guess you could be in both too. I wouldn't mind being typist too.
I don't, is this a new way of rotating?
Yeah, so Eric, a little recap. We had a couple of sessions ago, or if it was last session, we had this dilemma where I thought it was only me that knew about approval testing. It turned out Johannes knew it too. So we decided on trying a pattern of having 2 navigators and the rest typists that joined the session. So then we switched between the typist and navigator. So some people were just being the typist hat, and 2 of us were navigating. So I think it worked quite fine. So it's a way to when you have the situation where only some of the team knows something, you can they can be navigators.
Yeah, right. But it would be pretty confusing to jump between being typist and navigator in this setup, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. I haven't tried.
I don't mind staying a typist though.
Okay. Cool. Maybe a 5-minute rotation is good. Stefan, do you have the environment up and running?
I hope so. I will try to share my screen. Yep. And you should now see my IDE.
Great.
And I have adjusted the colors of the code coverage. I ran the tests with code coverage, so
you're up to speed with a ensemble.
It should be okay. And I hope I increased the font size a little bit and the UI size, so I hope it's fine.
Yeah, and so my first intent is just to run the tests and see that we're in green. I started the clock on the mirror, 5 minutes.
Yeah, we are.
Cool. So I would like to start adding a test for the Tetrad class. So maybe we can just make a copy of the grid approval test. Would be simplest way, maybe. So just call it Tetrad test. Cool. And then we can get rid of all tests except one with a verify in it.
It could have been quicker, I guess.
That's good. No stress. So this we'll call it initial tetrad or something. Just the first test.
Ah, okay. When I execute
Wait.
approval test, I get this. This is seems to be my default diff view.
That's okay.
So you do not have a package setup class here, right?
I think it's okay. I can.
Okay, I will just quit this.
You saved it.
Yeah, sorry.
I would like you to rename the test into something like initial tetrad. And we'll try to instantiate the class. I believe it takes a grid. But we can use that grid maybe. Yeah. We need a block. Now we need the real blocks for the I think the tetrad needs a block. Yeah, and then we'll verify the tetrad instead of the grid. Cool. Let's see what happens if we run this. Okay, so we got some default. Wait. Can we look at that file a bit?
I can get rid of those and.
Yeah, so this doesn't look very readable and it's some random gibberish there. So just to see what we're doing, I'd like to get a string representation of the tetrad class, simple as possible. There is a toString to override in Java, so we could add that. And just say hello world for now. Great, approve this so we have a green test.
And I have to delete the approved and have to rename the received to approved, right?
No, you can also run the test.
Okay, I can just take this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And try rerun again so we see that we are in green.
Yeah.
Great. So I think my next intent would be to get some interesting state instead of hello world. So if we look at the tetrad state, like the member data of this class. So that's statics. We're not interested in that. We're interested in this. Yes. So for the grid, we have a printer already. We can just use toString. For the blocks, I'm not sure. Let's start with the grid. So just if there is some string formatting, we can say just tetrad grid colon or something like that, readable.
So what do you want me to do? In one line, tetrad?
Yeah, a new line.
A new line? Okay.
And then we'll just use grid toString on that. We have this. Yeah, good. The grid, I believe. Yeah, toString. Cool. Let's look at how this looks.
I heard a bell.
Maybe it was the Miro bell. It was.
Okay, so should I just push a commit?
Yep. And we could try this pattern. The typist does a recap of what just happened. So this helps the next navigator to get like a red line or a red thread.
Okay. Do you have any conventions for the commit message?
No.
Just like pits or just initial tetrad approval test?
I'm fine with Ensemble. Since all of us are here, we're doing it together.
Okay. Ensemble.
Yep.
Commit and push. We just created an initial tetrad approval test and started to implement toString. And that's what we are currently working on. And I just ignore the warnings, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That means
So I seem to have successfully pushed. I do not have permissions to push.
Could you give us your GitHub name? I'll add you.
Yes, Stefan Scheid in one line, and I can write it to the chat.
So Stefan is navigating and Lev is typing. And perhaps we could. I'll see how quick this. You will get a mail, Stefan.
Mm-hmm.
Very soon.
And I will stop sharing my screen. And Lev is already. And I will push as soon as possible.
Okay.
I was too fast to switch to
Yeah,
screen
I
sharing.
have to. I just joined, and I can now. Hopefully, I can now push. Yes, it's pushed. Sorry for the delay.
Oh, it's my bad. I should have mailed you. And I was assuming you had been here before, Stefan.
No problem. I haven't thought about also.
Yeah, I don't have a nice diff.
Oh yeah, the approved file needs to be there in too if you haven't added that, Stefan. But you can just for now we can just rerun it.
I have pushed the approved file.
Oh, you have.
Yeah, we just changed it. I think we switched on red.
Cool. Oh. Yeah.
I'm waiting for the navigator.
Yes.
Instructions.
Johannes, are you there?
Oh, you want me to navigate? I see. Sorry. We have a failing test. Okay, we see the grid now. I see. I guess that's what we want for now, so we can just approve it, right? So let's approve this output that we got instead of hello world, and let's run the test again. Should pass now. Yeah. Could you show me the toString implementation again of Tetrad? So we have the grid now, and I remember there's another member of Tetrad, which is blocks, I guess, and I think we need to add this to the output as well. So yeah, looks good. Let's replace grid by, is it block or blocks? Blocks, I see. Olaf, what is it?
I have a suggestion. We can make a method that's called print blocks because it's an array of blocks, so we can have a separate.
I see. Sounds like a good idea. Let's do this.
Where?
I guess it could be a method on this Tetrad class for now, and we can move it around later. So this means we call print blocks. Yeah.
I need further instructions.
Okay, so let's do small steps. So let's call print blocks from our toString method exactly. Let's start with an empty string for now, and then we'll make it work. So this will give us a failing test again, I hope, if you run it.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a syntax error, it seems. After the return statement, yeah. And the difference is now, oh yeah, so let's put blocks on a new line in the output before we approve it. And yeah, so I'd like you to approve this small step as well. Maybe it's too small, but at least we are green then again. And I remember that.
Wait here. Read only.
Oh, probably you need to copy everything from the right side and then go to the file directly and paste it there.
Yeah, I was trying to find some way to do it here, but it doesn't seem to.
Yeah, this is the comparison view, and it seems it's read-only. So
Yeah, I don't know. I'll just copy it.
let's take the received, the content of the received file,
Yeah, I'll just
and
copy it by hand.
copy everything over.
Yeah, I'll make
This should get us
this
back to green.
nicer next time.
And it doesn't.
No.
Okay.
Hmm.
So is it a space which is missing, maybe, or
Yeah,
a new line?
it's true.
Oh, there's maybe a space too much.
Yeah, I think there's a space. Let me just check. Yeah, I want to have a proper diff. Yeah, it's telling me there's a space. Yeah. Somehow it's read-only. So does this approve this?
If someone knows what's going on, yeah, all of me.
Yeah, there is a new line in one of them. But I mean, when I end up in this situation, I either Google how to actually approve, just approve of the whole file immediately in the tooling. I don't really know how to do it in this tool. But another trick is just to remove the approved file and rename the received file. It will be identical.
Let's do this instead. Yeah, this might save us some clicks as well.
Also heard the bell.
Ah,
Yeah, what you can probably also do is just select the whole content of the approved in the diff view, then go to the actual approved file and paste it in there.
yeah, the received.
So, yeah. Copy the whole content from the received file and paste it there. Yeah. Should also work.
And can we have a typist recap?
Yep. So typist recap. We added a method called print blocks, and we call it from the toString method, and we made the tests pass with this new toString, I think. Yep. Now we're gonna push. See, I have permissions. Nice. Cool. I'm handing over.
Cool. And it's Thomas navigating Eric.
Hello.
Cool. Okay, so I think my intention would now be to print out those blocks. So I think in the toString method, we should probably loop over the blocks there. And
Sorry, I don't seem to have the latest here, right?
no.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Yeah,
Did you?
I didn't commit properly. I'm doing it. Cool. Yeah, the text file somehow didn't get committed. That should work now. Should be green.
Can we first run the test then?
But does this look up to date?
No, it doesn't.
No. It seems like you missed the Tetrad class file as well in the commit.
Lev, are you trying to fix this?
Yep.
You're still on mute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix this.
Okay. Do you want to share your screen so we can help you, or?
Yeah, I think I pushed 3
Right.
files now. The tests and the Tetrad.
Yeah.
Java,
Cool.
and the
Great.
text.
There we go.
Okay. So then I think, can we run the test just to make sure that it's green? Cool. Okay, I think in the print blocks we can loop over those blocks, and then I think there's already a toString for the block, so that we can then print each block.
Right. How do we do it for each loop in Java these days?
I think
What is a block?
it's an array, so I'm not sure how do you do for each over an array.
Okay, this.
I'm not a Java developer, unfortunately.
Me neither.
So maybe we are not the best combination here of navigator and typist, but
Can you do you have like type inference, or if I want to, or do I have to do it like this?
then we can string that. And is there blocks I dot? Do we need a toString there? Blocks I toString or something like this?
What is the content of that?
Olaf seems to be very patient.
Yeah, I was seeing that Stefan had a comment.
Yeah.
How we do?
Yeah.
But is this a proper override of the toString? It is. So that will get automatically called.
Okay.
I suppose.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, probably finish this, and then we can try to refactor this with a little bit more modern Java, but we can do this afterwards.
Yeah.
First make it pass.
Okay, so let's see.
All right.
Okay.
Does this look expected?
Yeah. I think we can copy it over. Yeah. Yeah. Save it, and then the test should be green, I guess.
That's the bell. I've added a comment with a command line that just adds everything and pushes it, so we get quicker.
What is it now? I got a different result.
Great.
How random is that?
So yes, that's a good observation, Eric.
Okay, I'll commit this, and someone else will have to.
We have a command to do the adding and committing and pushing in one go in the chat. So we switch quickly. In the Zoom chat, you have a command to do everything.
What?
In the Zoom chat, you have a command to do it in one go.
Yeah. But I think you're already there, so I can just push that.
All right.
So
Jerry, do you want to make a typist recap?
Yeah, so we tried to interpolate a string based on the blocks in the blocks array ended up in a pretty weird state where the tests fail, and we don't know why.
Cool. So I changed from Thomas' comment there that maybe Thomas and Eric isn't a good combination today. So I just switched the order of two typists. So Lev, if you're ready again, you will be typist a little bit quicker than you would have been. Yeah. And me, I'm back at navigating.
And I'm typist, right?
Lev is typist, I believe. We switched.
Okay. Sorry.
No problem. So let's see if we're in green. We're probably not because of this weirdness. But let's just run it anyway. So yeah, look the difference. So the difference here is this keeps changing. So if we look at the constructor of Tetrad, you'll see why. Random. We don't want random. We never want random, and particularly not in approval tests. We want the deterministic output. So anybody got a suggestion how to handle this?
So just make an argument in the constructor.
Yeah, Stefan, you also
or we can use a scrubber from approval.
We could do that too, but maybe we want the state from the blocks. We don't want.
Then we should control random. Yeah.
Control the randomness, yes. So I like the idea of refactoring it so that this random number is given in the constructor instead. So let's see where the constructor is called. How severe is this refactor? Can we do it without much tests yet? One place or three places? Or let's see. Okay, there. And there.
And the tests.
And the test, yeah, we don't mind the test. We only have one. Stefan?
How about introducing a second constructor so that we keep the signature of this one, calling the new constructor, passing in random, and we have a second constructor with two parameters that we can use in the tests? We
could do that. We just want to make sure that we call the real constructor so that we capture it, because it's doing quite a lot of things. I mean, I
thought about extracting the actual code in this second constructor and then have the original signature just calling this with random as a parameter.
I like this approach. Let's go for this one. So we extract everything inside the constructor of Tetrad into a method. So the content of Tetrad.
Okay.
You can probably just then use Control-Shift-R or something, refactor.
Oh yeah. Okay, so this is no longer a constructor, this is a method. Okay.
No, wait, a little slow. So we'll take it step by step. So if you place the cursor inside the body of Tetrad,
yep.
You press Control W. Or Control W or Command W if you're on a Mac.
Yeah, let's see. Nothing seems to happen.
Okay, so you don't have the ordinary. So I was trying to expand the selection. That's on Control W on Windows or Control W or Command W on Mac. But you don't seem to have the ordinary keyboard shortcuts. So just select everything in it manually.
Okay.
Yeah. Please use the automatic refactorings instead, Lev, and do that. Right click, refactor, extract method, Command RM, so you're on a Mac. Command RM, good. And let's call it, I don't know, initialize. I think you missed the refactor in the constructor.
Oh yeah.
and we have a broken test, but wait, slow down. You're doing things that I haven't told you to do.
I agree.
Yeah. So let's just run the tests once. It will probably fail as last, but we are aware of it. Let's see. Yeah, so it's still doing this. And to stop doing this, we want to introduce a variable. So we want to move the getRandom thing. Maybe let's start with moving this up to the start of the method. Thank you. So we should really send this into the method instead. Yeah, let's do it manually.
Okay. There's an automatic way to do this.
Maybe there is. Stefan knows.
Yes, there's an introduce parameter refactoring.
Ooh, undo then and try it.
Okay.
There is a comma on that line, which needs to be removed. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, random number is good. It's fine.
Yep. Okay. And now?
It
What do I
didn't.
do now?
Stefan, do you have a suggestion?
Yes, you didn't finish the refactoring action. You manually canceled it, so to say. So just do it again. Introduce parameters, select the name, and then hit enter.
Oh,
and then it will get a proper refactoring, including line 16.
Terrific. And so now we're getting in closer to a testable state.
Wow.
And we have a rotation. And Lev, in the chat of Zoom, you have a command line that does all the git add and commit stuff automatically.
And Olaf, I think your rotation didn't help much and still would then navigate Eric, I think.
Oh, did I make a mistake? Oh, yes, I did. Thank you. Maybe you can fix it, Thomas.
Yeah, maybe we can just switch Eric and Stefan, yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Sorry, Stefan, you still have to wait.
No problem.
Objects.
Perfect.
So pushed.
So who will be typist now? Sorry.
Eric?
I will. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
And Lev, do you want to have a little typist recap?
Yes. So we changed random number. So yeah, before the constructor for Tetrad. I mean, right, the constructor for Tetrad still is random. We just extracted most of it into the initialize method, which takes a parameter, extra parameter random number. Yeah, but the test is still failing. Done.
And we have Johannes navigating Eric.
There is two things which make me a bit unhappy. One being we are only running one test instead of all tests. Second, we are refactoring on red. I'm not sure how to solve it, but I'd like you to go back to running all tests that we have. And I'd like you to skip the failing test until we, basically until we have our refactoring in place. So can you go to the failing test and mark it as a skip test?
The failing test mark.
You see on the bottom panel there is one orange.
Yeah.
Double click it. And who can help with how to disable tests in Java?
I think ignore. Ignored, maybe.
Like
Disabled. Disabled is the new JUnit 5 annotation.
Let's put this annotation there.
Yeah, and then
keep running all tests. Don't select a single one.
Yes,
okay, it didn't work, right?
Because because he explicitly run this test.
I
Yeah,
see.
perfect.
So that's still possible. Okay, so we
Nice.
are back to green. Let's go back to our refactoring approach.
Mm.
I understood that we want a second constructor which has a second argument, which is this random number. So let's duplicate the constructor, either by typing it or by just copy pasting it. And let's add our integer of a random number or seed, fine. And now we need to figure out where we need to call this constructor, I guess, and it's
How can it have two
it has two
usages?
usages immediately. How does this how is that?
It's
Yeah,
anyway.
let's see. So let's now go to this test we just skipped, and let's see if we can make it. You see the one ignored? Yeah, you can do a double click again. So on line 12, let's pass in a random number. I guess there is a range of valid numbers. Okay, let's pick 6. I'm fine with that. Let's enable the test again. And maybe it passes accidentally, but I guess it's more probable that it fails. And if we copy and paste the received value now, yeah, so yeah, exactly. Go ahead. Let's run the tests again. Let's see. We are passing. So this is
Nice.
great. I remember also we had some more refactoring that we wanted to do about the for loop. It's at the end of Tetrad, I guess. It's in our helper method that we created. And is it arrays.stream, or what were you thinking about, Stefan? What did you want to do?
So what you can do is you can make arrays.stream, exactly, map the blocks to their string representation, and then use string.join on this collection of strings. I could give you the instructions if you want to.
Sorry, I suggest you go back. Please undo. Let's keep our existing implementation.
Okay.
Let's put the new implementation at the between the return statement and the for loop, and then we can switch back and forth. So Stefan, go ahead, please.
Yeah, okay. You can type you can type you can type blocks.stream, and then the idea will and then you hit enter. So the editor helps you. Then you can type .map, and you can reference the toString method with blocks with capital B, double colon, toString. Doesn't have blocks with toString method. It has, right? Block toString. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. And then you can let's type .var to store this in a variable. .var and then enter. Yes. And it's only temporary. Let's call it temp, because we want to inline it afterwards.
Yeah.
And then you can say return if it's okay if we change the actual return value, because we can now write return string.join, string with a capital S. It's a static method, string.join. And then you pass in, for example, okay, we have to. That should work.
Is it a car? Now the bell sounded as well, right?
Yeah, okay. So then maybe we can just delete the line, and I just heard the timer. Yeah. We can add a collector at the end and collect it to string, and then I guess the IDE will suggest the right way of writing it. Unfortunately, I'm now the typist.
Right. Quick recap would be that we've finalized that refactoring to parameterize the constructor, and then ended up midway through refactoring print blocks into modern Java, I suppose.
Okay, Stefan, can you make this method to return the blocks as a string?
I can try.
I think the intention is just to finish the refactoring for now.
Now we can return temp because temp should sorry. So that should go green, and then we can see if we refactor stuff.
Yeah, I think we have to comment out the for loop in line 200, right?
Okay, we are okay. So we are not doing the same.
I know you added a line break there for the
Yes.
joining.
Yes. So this is obviously wrong.
Yeah. And I think yeah, it's okay. It's not creating any problem.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we can delete line 190, yeah, that whole part there. And okay.
Is this okay?
I think so. The test is still green, yes. So let's see where we are. So we can now print the grid and print those blocks out there. So I think that is that we laid the groundwork now. So
Yeah, and I have a suggestion for you, Thomas. Because
yes.
I've played the game some, so we can just start running the game. I'll explain what I mean. It's, yeah, exactly. Main.
Is there a main class?
It's in the Tetris. The Tetris class is the main.
Okay, the Tetris. Okay.
Yeah, public static void main, the old saying goes. So every time you start the game, the blocks always start at this column 4, 3 or 4-ish. So if you pull this block down, by holding the arrow down, the next block will also be there, kind of. Go down again. And again, yeah. So the blocks always start in this. It's the randomness is not about the position, it's about what block it is. And if we look in Tetrad, we can actually see that in the code. But so my suggestion would be then that we so if we look at the Tetrad class a bit.
So I'm still wondering, is the representation we have now in the text file really enough to describe the block?
Yes, so, exactly. So this is where I'm coming at. So if we look at the Tetrad constructor again, or what we call initialize now, they are always created in this specific location. So around 3 or 4. So it's row column. So around column 3, 4 there. So if we just expand what we capture in the test, in this only test we have now, so like 7 by 7 grid or something, more like the game does. Let's just you could try that, Thomas, and see, you'll see what we get.
Okay, so let's expand the grid in our test. I think we initialized this hard-coded for a test, right? So there, yeah, we have the grid there that is created 2, 3. So just make this a little bit bigger, maybe 10, 10. And let's see what it creates now as a result.
Sorry.
Just run the test and see the text file it creates. Okay, so
Look at that.
that looks now much more like yeah, we're having a representation. So I think it already the grid already contains the blocks, and if I understand correctly, we want to test rotation and things like this. We probably don't need the blocks at the bottom for our approval.
So shall I remove this from the toString method?
Yes, at least that's my proposal. Let's see if there are any objections here.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I think we can keep
Then we can get rid of this method, right?
Yes.
I would like to print the blocks. Like if I test the rotation, I would like to make sure the blocks stay the same and just the grid changes.
Yeah, I think the question is how can we validate it from the output we have so far? Because that's just the letters behind. I cannot see how we can test the rotation with this part of the output.
Yeah, it will make manual approvals slightly easier, but it's also more code to maintain. It's a minor point for me. I'm done.
Okay. Yeah. Probably I don't see what you see, but yeah, we still have it in our history, so we can still get it back. So I would remove it for now. And so then I think what we could now do is we have this specific block there, so we could test the rotate method and see what it prints if after we have called the rotate there. So
I'm still in the red. Should I first?
Yeah, sorry, I was too fast. So please copy over this result now. Okay.
Okay. So what should I do next?
Create another. Create a test there. Another test. I think we can copy this test and say rotate block, maybe. Yeah. So we have the same grid. We create the Tetrad there, and I think that should already be green. Well, let's make it this green first. So if we run it, it will be red, but we can copy over the expected result, right? Yeah.
And I somehow have to get rid of this tool here.
Thomas, you mentioned something about rotate or translate.
Yeah. So I think what we could now do is we could manipulate the approved file to show how it should look like after we do a rotate.
I have a concern with that. I think it's just simpler to just add the actual behavior by just calling one of the methods and seeing what we get instead of fiddling with ASCII.
Okay, let's try that. So we just call the rotate method and then see how it changes the output.
And I just
Have
got
a
the
timer running. It feels like it's already long.
It's just good sense of time, Thomas. 2 seconds.
Okay.
Surprisingly, the test is going green.
Ooh.
So that would mean that that the rotation isn't working.
Cool. But we're friends, we're out of time for this session. I felt the urge to, I had some ideas I wanted to go next. So I think, and probably more of you have, I also seen ideas in the chat. So I suggest that we just take a couple of minutes to write down the next steps. What would you have done as a navigator, a couple of the next rotation kind of. So take a couple of minutes, just write down what next steps would you do.
Can we maybe add a small comment to the code that this test should be read? Because I think that will be...
Can you write it in the next step here, Thomas?
Okay.
Cool. I hope you got some of those ideas out. We have time for a short retrospective also. So I just have these corners: liked, learned, and longed for. So let's use 3 minutes for typing and 2 minutes for talking. Okay, so pens seem to be still. Maybe we can do a little informal voting of if you want to have 3 votes. Use a heart. Put a heart on 3 things you would like to discuss, and let's see if we have a popular vote for one of the tickets. Cool. So it seems like the group has, there is four ones on this one. Navigator typist combination can be optimized. We have four hearts on this one. So it's the popular vote. So I believe we started for 5 minutes past or so. So let's have some minutes on discussing. Yeah.
I'm curious why you wanted to navigate, Olaf, when I was typing.
Yeah, so that was basically a random chance. It was because Thomas wanted to switch, because you and Thomas were not, neither of you were, I don't know, too knowledgeable about Java. So it was an idea of just switching around to get some more into the mix. Nothing personal.
Ideal mix for you if like Navigator is familiar with Java or IDE or something. Is it true?
Sorry?
The ideal mix is that the Navigator is familiar with IDE or Java or something.
Doesn't have to necessarily be like that. I think, I mean, one combination we saw that was, yeah, Stefan.
Yeah, maybe either the typist should be familiar with the IDE and the tooling and the language, and the navigator can concentrate on the conceptual stuff, or if the typist needs more detailed or concrete instructions, then the navigator should be able to give them.
So what we did was basically just learn and change something while we were ensembling. So I like this, just learn something and try something new out. Don't be afraid of experimenting.
Yeah. I would not derive a rule that you check this every time upfront from it, because I really like what you said, that we were observing it and then fixing it immediately. That's way better.
Perhaps we have some time for, if there's nothing more on that one, we could check some other. This one was the second most popular.
I'm wondering what made people feel safe, and how can we probably copy some of this safety for other groups? Because all of you said initially, I remember it's way easier if the people on the ensemble know each other very well, which I feel is not true for this group, but still we were able to create this safety.
Yeah. Why is that?
Stefan?
So for me, one major point is that we are rather patient, and we give the navigator time or the typist time to try things out, or to have the time they need to understand what they should do or to think about the problem. So I never felt like be pushed to achieve something.
Patience, I heard. Patience, not stress. More push. Personally, I think it really helped that we have had this half hour connecting, talking to each other, discussing concerning things. We don't know each other very much, but we know some of each other at least. And yeah,
I liked seeing like git commit AM when I was forgetting the A in that thing. Like I said, like seeing it in the chat somehow.
It made the switches a little bit smoother, maybe.
Yeah, that made me feel supported. Like I was looking for that, and it was already there.
Cool.
Yeah, I also had the feeling that everybody here is willing to help each other.
Yeah.
So is this different to your other teams you're usually working with?
You asking me, Thomas?
I mean the people being patient and willing to help each other, because that would be at least my expectation that this is true for every team, right?
Yeah. What is your experience, Thomas?
I'm not saying that's my experience, that's my expectation.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering what makes people behave differently.
I mean, this is a playground, right? This Tetris, and
yeah,
not under time pressure from an organization around, and it's not for money, right? It's more like open source.
But that means, in the other hand, the more pressure you put on your team, the more you should not expect to have this kind of safety and collaboration in the team, which is, I think, a really interesting observation here.
Yeah, great. For technical coaching, I think of it, or I usually put it like this: you need two things in a team to get technical excellence. One thing is like the skills, learning the skills about how to do it. But the other thing is that you don't have pressure or too much pressure from the organization. You need both to get a low technical debt and a good system. Maybe a simplified way, but I like to think of it like that. Okay. So there's one more session, and I noticed one of the notes were also a clearer vision of where are we going. So I can very much feel that. What are we building? From the start of this session, I wanted really to, what feature are we building on? What are we building? But it's only been testing and refactoring so far. For example, I would like to make more colorful, more like smoother blocks and like shading and maybe a top scoreboard, high score, or features like. But maybe there will be a continuation of this experiment, these 5 sessions at some time. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
It's awesome. Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.